Right. Okay. So I think I will just go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining this trade content webinar today. It's great to see you all took the time to come here and listen to me. Today, the whole point is that I'll give a brief introduction to our whole trade content focus at Atlantic Link and how we can help you and the resources that we have available for you to use from our various clients. I hope you can all see my screen. In case you can't, please let me know. But I think it should be all right here. So just a very brief agenda, as you can see here. I will, for about 20 minutes, just give an introduction to the resources that we have and a brief overview of trade content in general here at Atlantic Link. And then at the end, I'll leave room for questions if you might have any. The whole reason behind why we're hosting this webinar today and why we're focusing on content in general is that we want to support you with tailored recommendations and up-to-date content as a service to you, and also as a means for us to promote the various materials and updates and training resources also that our destinations provide us with. So for your sake, we also hope to emphasize the importance of course, meeting customers with authentic and personalized content that hopefully will also inspire them to book with you. And essentially, as I now sit here and present these resources to you, it's entirely with the goal of informing you of potential ways that you can update content and with the knowledge and expertise that our customers provide you with, as sort of like the any of the destinations or activities that they feel are particularly valuable to visitors that they have at the moment, they will share with us and we can forward to you. So that's our intention with this. I also want to be clear that while I show some of these resources here today, you are welcome to reach out to me if there's anything else or anything more specific that you are looking for, because I can go ahead and request that from the destination that you may require something from. I'll also make sure that any of the materials that I mention now, I share those with you later today. I'll send those out along with the presentation here, so you have access to absolutely everything that I mention here. I will also send out I mean, you can mention it during the questions at the end of this webinar, but I will also send out a form later today if you have anything you would like to see us focus on in coming webinars, or if you have any thoughts in general that you would like to share, then feel free to do that. Right, so of course we can sit here and we can talk about why we think it's important that you use the content that we get from the destinations, but the fact is also just that research shows that regularly updating pages with up-to-date content and high visuals just helps increase SEO relevance, and it keeps users increasingly engaged. And I think something we also talked about during the last webinar was the importance of AI and the influence of AI today, and how customers, because of that, also seek more personalized experiences. They want something that's more unique and specific to them. And for that reason, we of course also think that that's very important to focus on utilizing some of all of this valuable information that we get that allows you to provide something like that for your clients. Now, for some of you that are not aware how we help with trade content at Atlantic Link, some of the ways that we provide and spread new content from our destinations is primarily, or one of the biggest ways that we do it, is through image galleries. So all of the destinations that we have direct access for you to use to image galleries. Yeah, it's directly for you to use. It's primarily royalty free. If it's not royalty free, I will always inform of that before you use them. Um, I want to say with these image galleries, it's also an option that, and we do have some of you that do that, that you can just reach out to me directly. I will make sure that I can provide those materials for you. If, for example, let's say you're looking for an image of the Golden Gate Bridge, it has to be summer. There's some specific things you would like in that image. Let me know. I can find that for you, or I can request it with the destination and see if they might have something like that available to you. Another way that we also use or distribute our trade content is through our newsletters. So that's primarily a collection of news and updates that we get from our clients that we think could be relevant to you from a promotional point of view. Recently, we focused a lot, as you can see here in the image, on the reopening of Highway 1. We've also focused a lot on the 250-year birthday of the United States, and then also the 100-year anniversary of Route 66. And of course, we also have the FIFA World Cup coming up, where some of our destinations are host cities and host states. So that's one way we do it. We also, as the one you're attending now, we also do quarterly webinars. We previously focused on highlighting resources like we are today, but we've also done webinars where we focused more on trends and highlights from the tourism industry, and sort of look more at the consumer side. But I also want to emphasize that if there's, this is entirely for your sake that we are doing this and hope to inspire you. So if there's anything that you would like to see going forward, then please let me know. I will take a look at it and see if we might be able to incorporate that going forward. So just one example I want to use to display, I'll go over all of the resources that we have from our different clients, but just one to kind of go in depth with is California, Visit California. They have, as you can see over here in the little video, a huge collection of images. There's more than 30,000. I can't give you direct access to all 30,000 images, but I can create collections. I think, as you can also see in the video now, collections for you to have access to, and that I also share with you when I share this presentation. But again, if there's something specific you're looking for, let me know. I can give you access to that. Another great resource that California has created is this thing called the California Star Program. I think maybe some of you are already familiar with this or have already used it. It's essentially a platform that seeks to inform and educate you on California. So it's made up of 3 modules. You'll start out by completing what's called like the essential training, which is, I believe, it's a set of 9-10 small modules about essential information about California. Then once you've completed those, you can move on to the retain phase, which is where you're presented with more marketing material and a lot of other resources like itineraries, and it kind of helps you how you can connect the information you've already learned during the essential phase and how you can use that to promote to clients. And then the last phase is called sell, which is kind of directly focused on selling the product to clients. But it's a great database. Like it kind of says here also, there's some mini modules that you get access to. And yeah, it's a huge platform. If anything, I just recommend that you sign up and take a look at it, and maybe recommend it to some colleagues also that are interested in educating themselves in California. Then it's an easy place where it's just all kind of collected and easily accessible. Another one, and I think we've mentioned this many times before, but I want to mention it again because I went on a fam 2 weeks time ago to California, and I used Mindtrip here to actually plan the itinerary. So it's a platform it's a product kind of developed by Visit California and Mindtrip. That's an AI tool where you can create itineraries kind of like you would on ChatGPT, but like you can see on the video here, you get a very detailed itinerary with hotel recommendations, very detailed itineraries. I personally found it very helpful. I thought it was really good. I mean, now I also used it in practice myself, so I can vouch for it and say that it was definitely very great itinerary created. So this is actually, we can skip this, but that's just a video for you to figure out where to locate my trip on the website, because it can be a little bit hidden. I'll skip that. Yeah, so like I mentioned before, Route 66 turns 100 years in, well, this year. It's essentially, like it says, a 350-mile museum with a lot of things to see throughout the route. I think by signing up to California Star and by utilizing Mindtrip, you can get a much clearer picture of how you could create an itinerary using or that kind of visits elements of this route. Now, that's just an example of how you could use it, but I think, especially for Route 66, where there are so many different things and very iconic stops that you can make, that's a great way to utilize it and a great way to learn more about Route 66. Now, another way that we also work to share resources is that we always keep tabs on new releases and any updates that our clients might have, whether that's through whatever news that are shared on their website or on social media, but also through their visitors guides. So we already have a few visitors guides for 2026 that have come out. So of course, California, Philadelphia, host cities or host places for the FIFA World Cup. That's a big focus also in the itinerary or in the visitors guides. But then, like I mentioned before, there are also a bunch of other anniversaries and celebrations coming up in 2026 that are really greatly covered in these guides. So I really recommend checking that out. Another visitor's guide that I've included here is the new winter and spring visitor's guide from Visit Seattle. I'm actually just in the middle of writing a newsletter about the microbrewery and kind of industrial wine tasting options in Seattle. I think it's the culinary scene is really sprawling in Seattle, and that's also a thing that's really covered greatly in this visitor's guide. I recommend checking it out. I think I will have it covered later in just a few slides from now, but this guide in particular is great because it also has itineraries made to if you have 1 day in Seattle or if you have 3 days in Seattle or 5 days. So it kind of caters quite nicely to the different length of visit that you might have and puts together specific itineraries for varying lengths and themes of your visit. So that's definitely worth checking out. So just kind of to quickly breeze over the different resources that we have available. We have Mammoth Lakes Tourism here. They have their own dedicated image bank. I've put together just over here on the side for you. When I share this later, you can take a look at it. If you are to use any of these images, there can sometimes be some accreditation required. This one specifically is just for social media, so I put that there. But otherwise, this is entirely for you to access and download yourself. I believe the only requirement is that you make an account and then sign up, and then you can just download and the images get sent to your email. Yeah, so just some examples of images that you can find in the image bank. Obviously, Mammoth is both a winter and summer destination. There's plenty of images of both. Yeah, so I recommend checking that out. I just decided to put this in here because I saw that Yosemite actually put up a whole page on their website about itineraries for national parks in California. So it's not just for Yosemite, but for all of the 9 different national parks in all of California. They've put together various itineraries and ideas for how you could either do like a loop trail through some of them, or even how if you want to do a road trip through some of them, or just a visit to Yosemite. So I've linked that here if you want to check that out. I think, as we all know, road trips and national parks in California is a big part of Nordic visitation. So yeah, I just wanted to include that. It's brand new. I just received it today, actually. So Philadelphia, another image bank that you have direct access to. I'm not going to go into much detail. Sign up. You can go browse. There's both Discover Philadelphia and Visit Philadelphia image banks. I believe the Visit Philadelphia image bank has a few more images than Discover Philadelphia, but you can check those out both. You sign up, you submit. It do says you need to submit a request for download, but as soon as you submit the request, it gets sent to your email within 10 seconds. So that's a very easy request process. The state of Washington, they have 3 different image banks. I have linked all of them. It is both, I think we've got the Port of Seattle, Visit Seattle, and then we've got the state of Washington. I will say the state of Washington image bank is really great if you're looking for nature photos and just kind of, nature photos for the state. Obviously, if you're looking specifically for any Seattle-related images, I would go for the Visit Seattle one. Those 2 are definitely the best ones to have a look at. And that's the visitor's guide that I recommended before. I just put in an image as well, so you can see there what the itineraries may look like. But yeah, I won't mention that too much. Now it says the Seattle Visitor's Guide here. That's not the Visitor's Guide, but that is similar to the California STAR program. Visit Seattle also has an online training course. It's kind of a little less extensive. They have 6 modules of about 15 minutes, and then each mini module is 2 minutes long. So once you complete the basic training where you get kind of the story of Seattle and the story of you get kind of the Native American history and all of that within 15 minutes. So maybe not the whole history. But then you can move on to more, there's a nature model, there's an arts and culture model, and culinary experiences. So kind of to give you a well-rounded basic knowledge about Seattle. So I recommend checking it out. It's a very interactive website that's very easy and simple to figure out. Right, another image gallery, this one from Fort Myers. Not much to say. I think, again, you sign up, you download, all good to go. No need for anything else. I don't even believe there's any usage rights on these ones, since I haven't mentioned them. But if there is, it will be listed before you download, but I think that's just ready to go. Right, and then Fort Myers does have a few resources available for you to use. There's the visitor's guide, but then I also want to highlight that they do have a travel advisor help desk available, which is a personalized service for tour operators to use, where you can actually contact an experienced staff person who will help you with any answer that you might have, or any question you might have about Fort Myers, or if you're looking for anything specific. But again, also, you're also welcome to go through me if you have any questions or requirements about content from Fort Myers, then I'm also happy to help with that. So the U.S. Virgin Islands is actually the only client we have where we do not have an image bank. I would say if you are looking for images from the U.S. Virgin Islands, just reach out to me. We can request it directly with the destination. Yeah. But there's also, the website is really great. If you're just looking for information, I would just recommend that you go on the website and have a look. But yeah, otherwise, any requests, just reach out to me. Then another newer client of ours is Bloomington, which is in Minnesota. I would recommend, maybe if you're looking for any specific images, reach out to us. It's not the biggest image bank that they have, but you are welcome to check it out. I have linked it here. They also have a great visitor's guide. I will say, particularly because they have such a big Nordic heritage, I think they've actually really catered to that in their visitor's guide, like with this article that's called Feinhygge in Bloomington. I think that's kind of nice. It's kind of the same with Seattle. They also have a big Nordic heritage, and they also really cater to that, and obviously have areas of the city that are dedicated to honor their Nordic heritage, and the same for Minnesota. So yeah, it's just kind of a side note. So one of our more recently acquired clients is the Tourism Bureau in Slovenia, which is called I Feel Slovenia. It is very new, so I've just decided to include the Slovenia tourism guide here for you, and also access to the image gallery if you might want to check that out. I did have a look. It is a very extensive image gallery with many beautiful images of nature and city. So please do check that out if you're interested in that. Yeah, otherwise, that was actually it for me.